All right, cool. A water tank holds 256 gallons, but is leaking at a rate of 3 gallons per week. Okay, let's not even read the rest of this question. A water tank holds 256 gallons, but is leaking at a rate of 3 gallons per week. Can somebody set up that equation for me? A water gallon holds 256 gallons, but leaks at 3 gallons per week. How would I write that? Josh, how would I write that? 256 minus 3x. Are we all okay with that? The second one says a second water tank, which means a second water tank or a second equation holds 384 gallons but is leaking at a rate of 5 gallons per week. Can somebody write that equation for me? Jackson, go for it. 384 minus 5x. After how many weeks will the amount of water in the two tanks be the same? Well, what do I have to put in between my two equations? An equal sign. Is that easy? Now, I want to remind you of something. This is an 8th grade concept, which means that you can use what? A calculator. Now, I'm not trying to give you a shortcut and make your life feel like it's less significant now that you have a calculator. What I want you to understand, though, is that we're using bigger numbers, using more difficult numbers, and therefore I want you to be comfortable with the actual math that we're doing there. Understood? Okay. Since we just did a problem similar to this, I'm going to skip over solving this problem. Are we okay there? We're not going to skip over a lot of them, but for this one, since we just did a similar one, I'm okay moving past it. All right, number 2. Attorney A charges a fixed fee on $250 for an initial meeting, and $150 per hour after that. So if I look at just Attorney A, they charge a fixed fee of $250 and $150 per hour after that. How would I write that equation? Isaac.
250 plus 150x.
Isaac, I just gotta stop for a second. I'm proud of you, man. You're doing great. I'll just keep doing our homework, keep our grades up, right? Doing awesome, man. Okay, B. Attorney B charges $150 for the initial meeting and $175 per hour. Can somebody write the second equation for me? Nathan, go for it. 150 plus 175x. Are we all okay with that?
Yeah.
And then how do I compare these two? Because the question says that how many hours do they charge the same amount? And how many hours do I charge the same amount? What is the only thing missing from my equation? My equal sign. Okay, hey, I want you to solve this one. Solve for x for me. You have a calculator. Use it. Solve this one for me. Make sure we get those equation solving skills in there. Sorry. You're good. You're good. You can't control if your pencil breaks. How you doing? Glad to be back still?
Yes.
Cool. Glad you're back. What's up, Reed? Okay, cool. Has it been easier being back?
Yeah.
Cool. Do you like our teacher so far?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
That's great. Emily, have you liked all your teachers so far? Good. Good. Does anybody solve for x for me yet? Or does anybody have an x value? Okay, Reed does, Nathan, Sam. I'd like to get 6 people that are done before I move on. We got 3 so far. Proud of you, man. That's awesome. You feeling better today? Did you train you around Tuesday? I'm not laughing at you, well, kind of, but I know that feeling. I'll tell you my track story here in a minute. You got an answer, Josh? Kaden, what'd you get?
4.
X equals 4. Do we agree? So what does that 4 mean, though? Like, just if we're going to really talk about this, like in a real life scenario, what does it mean if I tell you it's 4? Sandy, what does that mean?
It take 4 hours to reach.
Yeah. So at 4 hours, if Ziana went to see Attorney A because she wanted to sue Mr. Paver for giving her too much homework, and Kendall went to Attorney B and he wanted to sue Miss Shadman because she stopped letting him play his instrument, at 4 hours they would pay the same amount of money. Does that make sense? At not 4 hours, at 3 hours or 5 hours, somebody's paying more money. Okay? All right, let's do a couple more. All right, number 3. Andy's rental car charges an initial fee of $20 plus an additional $30 per day to rent a car. Rosie, can you set that equation up for me?
120 plus 30.
Very good. And then it says Buddy's rental car charges an initial fee of $36 plus an additional $28 per day. Emily, could you just set that one up for me?
36 plus 28.
36 plus 28x. And it says for what number of days is the total cost charged by the company is the same. So what do I put in between these two? An equal sign. Could we solve this one?
Yes.
Are you okay if I skip this one? Awesome. You want to know what's really crazy, y'all? And this is just me being a teacher and being kind of a nerd here. You guys realize that when we're setting these equations up, we're just setting up slope-intercept form. We have our y-intercept, the number that's constant, and then we have our slope, the number that's being multiplied per hour. So do you see how it's all building off of each other and it's still the same thing? How like everything really does build on it? Just me being a nerd. Just accept it. All right, yellow taxi has no pickup fee but charges 0.25 cents per mile. Okay, can somebody set up that equation? That's a little bit more unique. No pickup fee but charges 0.25 cents per mile. What do you think, Reed?
It's 125.
Why do I not have to put plus 0 there?
Does it just be the same?
Well, it doesn't matter, right? If I say I'm offering you 0 points of extra credit, is there any reason for you to do the extra credit? You'd be wasting your time. Well, yeah, you'd be wasting your time.
Unless you're just have nothing to do and
Sure, if you're grounded and it's that or read some Spanish book that you don't understand Spanish to, then I would probably choose the book, or probably choose the extra credit.
yeah.
I mean, you could have Spanish.
You could. I have to sneeze, hold on. Thank you so much, appreciate it.
Love you.
All right, AAA taxi charges $3 for pickup and 15 cents per mile. Kendall, would you mind setting this one up for me?
15 cents?
AAA taxi.
Three plus 0.15.
Beautiful, well done. And it asks, find the number of miles which the cost of two taxis is the same. What do I put in between these two? An equal sign. All right, solve this one. Ten, 12 will get out here, correct?
Yeah.
You got it, Isaac? I'll give the rest of the class a second to catch up, then I'll call on you, okay? That's right. I'm going to kind of walk through this one because as I bounced around the room, I just see a bunch of different answers. So I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page here. I'm going to move my x's over to this side. Can anybody tell me why it's more advantageous or easier to move my x's over here? Why, Reed?
Because there's nothing else there.
Exactly. Good job. So I'm going to subtract. And that's going to leave me with 0.10 is equal to x. Are we all okay with that step? We're all good there? Now, this isn't my answer, obviously, because that's just chaotic. what do I need to do to get my final step or to get to the final answer? Read.
Divide 110.
Yep, divide both sides by 0.1 or 0.10, however you want to say it. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to have 3 divided by 0.10. Well, you guys have a calculator. Can anybody tell me what 3 divided by 0.1 is, Josh?
30?
So after 30 miles, we're going to be at the same price. Cool there? All right. Hey, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and stop my video.